Hello friends, this is DEEPANA VISWESHAWARI. I am a native of Dindigul district. I have done my graduation in Electrical and Electronics Engineering and from Mohammed Satak Engineering College. I have cracked UPSC Civil Services examination in my 4th attempt, and in this attempt I have got 117th rank. In this journey of UPSC Civil Service preparation, I came to know many things in my life. It has refined me into a mature person. This was my 4th attempt, as I have mentioned earlier. So continuous failures were there in the last 3 attempts. So for the past 3 attempts, I used to formulate a strategy, but it would fail. At last, I won't be disappointed. Rather, I would come up with a new strategy. So this as a whole process has made me into a very refined person. I used to plan for the day beforehandedly. So I'll start a day with a casual walk and then I'll go ahead with my preparation. In a normal day, I used to spend around 5 to 6 hours for my preparation, and if it is going to be a test day, I'd allocate even extra 3 hours more for that day. So it would be totally around 8 to 9 hours. So in the meanwhile, if I get bored, I'll do some of my hobbies like drawing and sketching to motivate myself, and I'll ensure that I'll stick to the day schedule. If anything is left out, I'll try to complete it in the next day. So this is what my routine preparation days goes like. Patience and perseverance are the 2 golden words which everyone would say, but through the failures in the last 3 attempts, I came to realize them through my own experience. And moreover, in the first 2 attempts, I failed in prelims itself. And then I came to know that not just memorizing the facts alone will not work in prelims. So I worked out more question papers. In my 3rd attempt itself, I solved around some 8,000 questions. So and then I realized understanding the concepts is very much essential for prelims, and in my 3rd attempt I cleared prelims for both civils as well as forestry. So I considered this as a new strategy which I found through my own experience. And in my 3rd attempt, though I qualified for mains, my mains marks were not that highest. Then I evolved the strategy like introducing new introductions like writing poems, writing facts, and drawing flow charts. These are all the new strategies which I incorporated in my 4th attempt, and I got a very good score in the mains. And as far as interview is concerned, people would say that it is enough that you give 2 or 3 marks. I will not suggest that. Practice as much as times with your friends, and sit with your colleagues. They'll let them ask you questions, you try to answer those questions. So these kind of simple things will make a huge difference. So these are all the changes I incorporated in all these 4 attempts. Personally, I don't think like UPSC gives advantage to one degree over the other. For example, in the prelims and mains process, one needs to prepare with a lot of subjects like history, geography, economics, science and technology subjects. So one needs to master a variety of subjects to clear the prelims and mains. And even in the interview process, engineering graduate, he gets question from the medical side and vice versa. So this is a field where diversity is required, and I personally do not agree with the view that this is favoring one over the other. And moreover, in the recent days, many doctors are also venturing into civil services. Basically, one needs to start with NCERTs. After having a thorough understanding of concepts given in the NCERT books, he or she has to go with the current affairs. For current affairs, reading newspapers like Hindu, Indian Express, whichever one is comfortable with, is more than sufficient. And a very important thing which I used to follow is keeping self notes for easy revision before the examination process. Apart from this, referring websites like CCRT for art and culture part and government websites like PIB, all these will help the candidate to be successful in the various stages of the examination. It is based on the candidate's comfortness. I used to prefer Hindu because the language of the paper is very simple, and apart from that, political science articles written by famous authors like Suhasini Haidar, Muhammad Ayub, it is very much useful for my political science preparation. So I used to follow Hindu newspaper. Notes making is very important for a candidate because by making notes, a candidate can easily remember the facts and very important keywords. For prelims, a candidate must make important note of the some important key figures or like spending and some important facts. Whereas for mains perspective, a candidate must make an analysis by reading the newspaper and prepare a hand notes of his own. By this, he can make note of the important keywords which will fetch more marks if he write the same word in mains examination. So in my perspective, notes making is very essential. Yes, in recent days, there has been fluctuating marks in the essay paper, but it is not necessary that one should have a very good vocabulary for getting good marks in essay paper. Normal English language is very sufficient for getting good marks. For example, having some innovative things in essay will help one in getting more marks. For example, using history happenings for introduction and writing poetic lines and stating some real-time incidences and starting the essay will get more marks. And then with the body of the essay, one should structure the essay in a proper manner, like one should proceed with the causes and evaluate how the scenario of that topic is in the country, and then he should suggest some innovative solutions, and after that he should follow a conclusion. So if these structure is going to be followed, one can get very good marks in essay. And moreover, in between essay, one should introduce some quotations said by famous authors, and the freedom speech given by our freedom fighters can provide valuable insights into the essay paper. So these are all some innovative things which everyone can follow to get good marks in essay paper. I developed interest in international relations since from my college days, and also after going through the syllabus of PSIR, I thought that majority of the GS syllabus would be covered in PSIR. So based on these factors, I chose political science and international relations as my optional subject. When compared to the advantages of advantages of PSIR, I would say paper 2 would be if one is getting thorough with the paper 2 part, then he can cover GS1 syllabus as well as GS3 syllabus, internal security part. If one is going through the paper 1 section B, he can cover the GS2 part. So this is what the advantages PSIR offers. When compared when one is coming to the disadvantages of PSIR, one need to by heart so many thinkers' name, and this is not a subject where one can restrict oneself to some static parts alone, because political theory as a thing, it is continuously evolving, and political thinkers from Harvard and other such world-renowned universities, they used to continuously propose some new theories. So one needs to get updated with all those theories. This is what as a disadvantage thing I would suggest. During my interview, my board chairman was Mrs. Satyavati, and apart from the chairman, there were totally around 4 members. The entire panel was very cordial. Whenever I was struck with some facts, they tried to help me, and they made me feel very comfortable during the process. It was very important. And moreover, when I couldn't recollect very important fact, the chairperson, she herself gave me the clue. So it was very much cordial. And some of the interesting questions which were asked during my interview process were, who is your role model, and what are all the some innovative solutions you would suggest for the water scarcity problem in India, and these were some of the interesting questions. People with self-preparation also, they are also clearing the exams, but I would say guidance is very much essential for this exam, because persons will not come to recognize the nuances by themselves. They need some guidance. So in this process, coaching will provide the guidance part. And apart from that, for my mains paper, Deepak sir, he used to give me the feedback. Whenever I give him the paper, he used to tell, like, with this content you will get some service. If you improve the content, you will get into Indian Administrative Service. This is what the exact feedback he gave, and based on his feedback, I improved my content, and finally I cracked the exam by getting IAS. So this is what guidance would do some magic in this process. I'd suggest the student to get aware of the examination pattern, because this examination pattern has 3 stages. I recommend the student to get to know much about the examination process and what all the subjects needs to be prepared for this examination. And apart from that, I would recommend the student to select one optional subject which he or she is going to choose for his civil services examination. In the meanwhile, I'll suggest her to make full-fledged preparation only after completing her graduation. Thank you, friends. I hope the suggestions and the valuable thoughts which I have shared in this video would be really helpful for you. And I personally thank IAS by Heart for giving me such a wonderful opportunity for sharing these things.